This is Salam Radio, Peterborough's Muslim.
Salam alaikum, good evening, and welcome to Wealth Made Simple. I'm your host, Kieran Bateman, and I'm here
with Shaz Nawaz. Assalamu alaikum and good evening.
Good evening to everyone. As always, you can get in touch with the
host. Did you say?
Yeah, as always, you can get in touch with the show by calling the studio on 01733 602 133. You can text us on 07411 191 062, or you can comment on any of our live streams on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or the platform formerly known as Twitter, now X. So loads of ways to get in touch. We'd love to hear from you. And perhaps we will hear from some people today, given the subject matter. This week on Wealth Made Simple, we are going to be discussing AI. And I've got a massive passion for this subject. I love this subject.
You hide it well.
I know, I really do. And we've been utilising AI within our business. And last week, during the show, I both of the scripts that I had for last week were written specifically by AI, just to demonstrate, for the purposes of this show, how good they can be. Now, I did sense check them before, bring them to air, because AI is not perfect. It's not a replacement for people, but did a pretty good job. And I managed to get through, the entire show on AI scripts, knowledge, AI prompts.
And here, everybody was thinking, how clever is Kieran? He has all this stuff.
Yeah, well, yeah. But that was the purpose of last week's show, was to demonstrate where it's going, how it's integrating itself into aspects of people's lives. Now, I think to start off with, we should cover what is AI. Because a lot of people have, this idea in their head that, you've seen all the films, Terminator, iRobot, Skynet, and all the rest of it.
You've got too much time on your hands.
Clearly. And, the HAL 9000, there's so many sci-fi iterations of AI that...
I stopped at E.T.
That's extraterrestrial, not...
It's kind of sci-fi, isn't it, in my world?
Yeah.
My sci-fi world's smaller than your sci-fi world.
Yes, this is true. But so we've got this preconceived idea that AI is the robots that are going to take over. And
they are, aren't they?
Maybe one day. But we are so far away from that. And I don't think people understand just how far away from that we are. So I'm just going to run through a few concepts of different types of AI and what they can do, their general overview of them. And I'm going to start at the most advanced that we've ever thought about and come backwards. And then I'll tell you where we are at right now. And it might give you an idea into...
So you're going to go to infinity and beyond and then come back?
Yep, that's the idea.
To the future. Okay,
yep.
Let's do it.
So the first AI I'm going to talk about is artificial superintelligence with objectives. And this is an AI system that possesses superintelligence, but also has explicit objectives and goals set by the creators. Now, this is what we will probably be trying to work towards, so that it's constrained in place within rules and guidelines, so that you don't have rampant AI. The benefits of this form of AI are similar to those of basic superintelligent AI, but it's more controllable, it's got more directed behavior and more predefined objectives. We're going to have to be very careful about what objectives we give and how those objectives can be interpreted, because we as human beings are not super intelligent. We are intelligent and we are the intelligent life form on this planet, but we as a species are not super intelligent. So ASI, super intelligent artificial superintelligence, is going to be a magnitude higher in intelligence than we are. So its interpretation is going to be vastly different to something that we currently understand.
Different ability, yeah.
Yeah, massively. And that's the thing. So that's the highest thing that we're trying to achieve with AI. Now, alongside that, there is your generic artificial superintelligence. And at its core, artificial superintelligence is AI that surpasses human intelligence in every aspect, every single aspect: creativity, problem solving, self-awareness, development, learning, every single aspect that you can think of. And the potential benefits of a super AI are immeasurable. Yeah, it can solve world problems the way that we solve a child's problems. It's that much of a...
At a different speed and a different density and everything, yeah.
Yeah, it will advance scientific research at an unprecedented rate. It will solve problems that we've been having. It will elevate our understanding of the universe. It will revolutionize society. And these are just the fringe benefits. And
you make it sound so exciting.
It really, really is. But, there are existential risks when it comes to superintelligence. Superintelligence will be able to outsmart humans. It will be able to outmaneuver us. If we've got everything being controlled by computers and everything else is digitized, everything else is roboticized, all our factories are using, robots to build cars, for example. It's all connected to the internet. It all becomes part of this superintelligence. We then become beholden to it unless there are those constraints that I mentioned earlier in place. Otherwise, it's got complete global control. And that in and of itself is what terrifies a lot of people. But that's superintelligence. That's a long, long way away. Going down a grade, you've got artificial broad generalization. And a broad generalization is an AI that can generalize across a wide range of tasks, but it's not truly conscious or self-aware. But it can help with advanced robotic systems. It can perform various complex tasks in controlled environments, but it's not outsmarting us. So and we're not there yet. We're nowhere close, by my understanding. And then, that can help. A broad general AI will help with handling tasks and potentially give us improvements in automation or productivity, autonomously. It'll do that by itself. It'll just reiterate processes, improve, refine, but it won't get creative per se. Then you've got narrow generalized AI, which it's an AI that can generalize its capabilities across multiple related tasks, but it doesn't have the broad cognitive abilities of a human. And but it's very, very good at its singular focused task. And
it's more niche.
Yeah,
Yep.
Absolutely. Then you've got strong AI. Strong AI is the next level up, or next level down, but next level up from where we are at. And strong AIs refers to AI systems that possess human-like cognitive abilities. It enables them to learn, to understand, to apply knowledge across a wide range of tasks that essentially mimics human-like intelligence. And artificial narrow generalizations and artificial broad generalizations are kind of a similar level. So that they're all kind of close around the same sphere. Mm-hmm. This level of AI currently doesn't exist. We don't have human level intelligence AI yet. If it is successfully developed, industries that require long amounts of research, problem solving, yeah, all of these sorts of things. The computer requires power. The algorithm requires power. But it doesn't call in sick. It doesn't take a day off. It can just sit and compute day in,
Consistent and efficient.
day out. And it will just increase overall in every industry the efficiencies within our workplaces and, jobs. Now, there are ethical concerns about creating machines in general with human-like intelligence. People cite the loss of jobs to automation. They cite...
That happens a lot, doesn't it? That conversation.
Yeah, that conversation happens a lot. And we will touch on that conversation during this. There is the potential that once you've created human-like intelligence, you've added that creativity to it, that learning ability, and then you've given it access to the internet. The thing that will define and allow it to evolve so much faster than human beings can, and it could lead to super intelligence a lot faster than we anticipated, is the storage of information. You have a finite amount of information you can store in your brain at any one time that you have access to. A supercomputer, we have supercomputers now that have petabytes and petabytes and petabytes of storage.
Data rooms and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And you've also got, if you've got a single computer that has, imagine plugging your brain directly into the internet and having access to all the information of the internet at your fingertips at all times. You wouldn't just be human anymore. You'd be more than...
But it's a speed, isn't it?
Yeah. Your speed of processing, your speed of ideas, your speed of...
Collecting
information and
reproducing.
It grows exponentially,
Yeah.
and it grows very, very quickly. That's one of the biggest risks that people look at when they're looking at human-level intelligence AI, is plugging it into the internet and giving it access to all that information at once. And how quickly could it evolve itself into super intelligence and, the problems therein. So there needs to be controls in place. And we do look at, whether or not there are... But, again, that level of AI currently does not exist. Doesn't. Sorry.
Or if it does, it's not known to us.
No, it doesn't.
No.
And the reason we know it doesn't is now we get to narrow AI. Narrow AI refers to AI systems that are designed and trained on a specific task for a limited range of tasks. And these systems are highly specialized and cannot perform beyond their predefined scope. That's where we're at. That's what we have. ChatGPT, which is the one that everyone's heard of, Bard, all the DALL-E, which is the image generation. All of these AIs are learning models. They are narrow AI. They are weak AI. They're not true, conscious, human-level sophisticated AI. They're just not. And we don't know how long it'll take us to get there, but we are at the very fringes of this. So, voice assistants, Siri, Alexa, things like that, they are narrow AI. Spam filters, narrow AI. You'd be amazed at how long narrow AI has been around. But now that we've got language learning models, it's suddenly come to everyone's the forefront again. But this sort of narrow AI has been around for many, many years. It's been playing chess. It's been playing Go. Is it Go?
I have no idea.
I think it is. It's an old game. It's been doing all those sorts of things. That's narrow AI. And, it's not intuitive. It's not talking to you. It's just understanding your words and converting it.
And processing and giving back whatever prompt you've given it.
A chess AI can analyze any move you make in chess and respond accordingly in a way that will generate a victory for it. Can't play checkers. It'll lose every game of checkers you put it against. Because it's got a very, very focused.
That's right, yeah.
But this sort of AI, now that it's becoming more mainstream, is very, very proficient at performing the specific task that you give it, that you program it for. But it cannot adapt to new tasks outside of its original design. And it also suffers from potential bias if the training data is not diverse or representative. And as has been demonstrated with ChatGPT, if you feed it bad prose, bad input, it gives you bad results.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, so that's a general overview of the different levels of AI. There's a lot to get through there. And we are at that very, very first level. We are at narrow AI, which is crazy when you think.
And exciting.
Incredibly exciting.
What the future holds, yeah.
Yeah. The future holds a complete, idea of growth around all of this, and that it will just continue to grow. So, but you need to understand the fundamentals of AI before you can have a true discussion about AI.
Yeah.
Because there's no point coming into this and going, oh yeah, but when are the computers taking over? Yeah. Always say please and thank you to your smart devices.
Yeah.
Because when the inevitable revolution does happen, no, I'm joking.
Yeah.
But that's AI in a nutshell. And I'm not a computer analyst. I'm not an AI expert. I'm an AI enthusiast.
Yeah.
And there are people out there who dedicate their lives into this sort of thing, and they could explain it far better than I can. And there's a lot more nuance and a lot more depth to it than I've presented here. But
it's a starting point. Yeah.
It's a starting point. Yeah. So now, what do you use AI for?
Or what does it mean to us? Yeah.
Yeah. What does it mean
for us? Yeah.
How's it gonna grow and change? I mean, how do you see AI?
I think it's a massive opportunity. It's gonna, because a lot of time, if you're looking to do something, you spend a lot of time researching. Even if you know a particular topic, you're still going to research to see if there's any changes, updates, a new angle, a different way you can present a particular concept, and that takes a lot of time to do. AI, with what we have at the moment, whether it's ChatGPT, Bard, or something else, reduces that time. Of course, you then got to look at it and make sure it's correct, authentic, right, accurate, factually correct. But if you know your subject matter, you can quickly kind of get through that. Unless you're introducing something new, in which case I'd say do the research yourself first, and then obviously go to ChatGPT or any of the other platforms to try and get the information and then compare notes. So I think it's phenomenal. My concern always, as you know, Kiran, with this stuff, and it's going to improve, is I think it will dumb down people, because a lot of people will have this lazy approach. Okay, I want some article on this or blog or whatever it is, and then they put some prompts in which might not be entirely what they're looking for, and then they get something out there and they're sending the information out, and they're an influencer or a small influencer, or they've got followers, and people read that, believe that, and they're just going off on a tangent. It to some extent it reduces people's ability to think independently. I mean, there's answers for all these pros and cons, but I'm just saying, and then I think the fact there are two other things in terms of humans. One is the emotion side, and sharing those emotions, and the other one linked to that is connectivity, human to human, talking to each other, having that emotional connection, that human connection, and AI will probably have that at some point, but I think at the moment it lacks it. But it doesn't just lack it. I think it, in a way, it's going to be sad if people lose that connection somehow, and just rely totally on the internet or other means of communicating with each other, and not using that one-to-one or one-to-many situation. So, but it's a fantastic tool, as you said. I mean, we've already adopted it a while back, and we're always looking at changes, improvements, what's out there.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff, even right now, as you know, is mind blowing. And as you said, we're just at the tip of the iceberg. Do you know what I mean? It's phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, something I want to touch on that you briefly said a second ago was, sense checking and making sure that, knowing what you know is correct as per, whatever prompt you've put in. And the reason I bring that up is there was a story in the news, and I was listening to this, so I, don't quote me on this. The details might be a little bit wrong, but the general idea is that AI.
Well, in the news, then it must be true.
AI can. It has a phenomenon that it does, which is referred to as hallucinating. And what that is when you ask it to cite references, it makes them up. And a lawyer, I believe in America, had his either intern or associate or junior create a document for him to go to court with, and rather than doing the research and
He relied on it, did he?
well, rather than doing the research himself, the intern put it into ChatGPT or a large language learning model, and it spat out, a full dossier of, the defense or, whatever it was at the time, and cited legal precedents and stuff, as they do,
To build the argument in the case, yeah.
to build the argument in the case. And it turned out that they'd used real judges' names, real people, some events, but it had cross-pollinated some things and created some stuff up. And this is called hallucinations within AI. But the main lawyer himself didn't check any of this. He just assumed that his intern had done his due diligence. So he took the file, took it to court, and it was only during the court proceedings that they found out that it was all false.
Oops.
Yeah. Yeah. That sort of thing. Yeah. If you don't know your subject matter, you cannot rely on AI to do it for you, I think is what that proves.
And partly, if you don't know your subject matter, you shouldn't be talking about it to some extent, if you know what I mean, especially if you're sharing information, just having a one-to-one conversation, different thing where you're sharing opinions and learning or whatever else. But if you're out there sharing information, then you ought to know about it, in my view. I mean, sometimes you talk about, we're not AI experts, as you know.
No.
But we made that very clear, and we share things about wealth made simple and all the different opportunities. And this is an opportunity to work towards wealth.
Yes.
Okay, and productivity, efficiency, effectiveness, all that kind of stuff. So it's a broad range of topics we talk about. But the overall topic we know a lot about. We have the credibility and the expertise to talk about it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly that. And that's the thing with...
And that's what's partly dangerous, but the point I was making earlier is anybody will talk about everything, and then it all gets mixed up, mashed up, and then there's people out there who kind of believe that because if Kieran talks about investing, and he seems to know plenty about it, and he's talking sense, and now he's talking about something else, some other topic, okay, then therefore they transfer that expertise. He must know about this too.
Yeah.
Now let's ask him about that, whatever that might be, okay? And then you're soon talking about that, which is, as we've talked about before, is someone says to you, I don't get on with my husband or wife or my spouse or my partner. Can you advise me?
Yeah.
Well, Kieran's been divorced 18 times. He's the worst guy to be advising you because he can't hold down a relationship.
Well, yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But people connect stuff.
People connect it in... And that goes back to an episode we did before on biases and generalizations and how people connect. You're an expert in this field, so I'm going to ask you about this. Oh, that was sound advice. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I'm going to ask you about this as well.
But although if you've been divorced 18 times, you'll have some good advice on what not to do.
Well, yeah. Thankfully, I have not been divorced that many times, or at all, in fact.
No, you haven't, no.
But the point is still the same. And that's the other thing with all of these large language learning models. You can put in a prompt and it will spit out whatever it is it's spitting out about, whether it's code, whether it's formula, whether it's, prose, whether it's copy, whatever it is that you've asked it for. Unless you know that subject matter, you need to have done your own research to make sure that it's correct and accurate and reflective of what it is that you're trying to get across, because otherwise you end up in the position this lawyer was in, where egg on its face, go into court with a file full of cited cases
which wasn't relevant, or accurate to that
just
particular
doesn't
scenario.
exist. Just don't exist.
Yeah.
And that in and of itself is one of the flaws with narrow AI and also, most of the narrow AIs that we come into contact with as consumers at the moment are not up to date in terms of modern. They're only fed data up to 2021.
Yeah.
So
it's not
anything that's changed in the last 2 years, it doesn't know about. So you can't ask it about that sort of stuff. And we'll continue this after the break.
See you shortly.
See you shortly. Salam alaikum.
You're listening to Salam Radio, and it's now time for Asr Azan. This Azan is sponsored by Park Foods. Come and see the difference.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة والصلاة القائمة آت محمدا الوسيلة والفضيلة وابعثه مقاما محمودا الذي وعدته. اللهم آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم بك نحيا وبك نموت وإليك المصير. رضينا بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وبمحمد صلى الله عليه وسلم نبيا ورسولا.
In the heart of Peterborough, this is Salam Radio.
Assalamu alaikum, good evening, and welcome back to Wealth Made Simple. I'm your host, Kieran Bateman. I'm here with...
Shaz Nawaz.
And...
Akil Khalil.
How's it going?
Good, thank you.
So, you've decided to join the show on AI.
I have, yes. I just felt like it was something that I'm interested in. And I've been listening to your show anyway, so I've been enjoying it. So, privileged.
You were just jealous. You were missing out, and you wanted to be in the cool crew.
I did.
Let's start with a bit of honesty.
Do you know what? That's true. That's the fact.
We're pleased you're here, by the way. Delighted.
Thank you.
Thank you for making time.
Absolute pleasure to have you here.
You can go now.
Thank you very much.
yeah. So, you know, just earlier we were discussing what is AI and the different levels of AI that, you know, we've come across, and everything down from directed superintelligence, generative human intelligence AI, down to narrow AI, which is where we're currently using things like ChatGPT, Bard, DALL-E, Word Genie. The list goes on. Synthesia. There's a solid couple of thousand different AI tools and platforms out there at the moment that I am aware of, and it's growing every day. Different companies coming up and using it. And this show, we're going to talk a little bit about what we can use AI for within business, within wealth generation, within, you know, how it's going to grow, and how much of an impact do you think it's going to have on businesses going forward and going into the future? Because, yeah, like when the internet started, you know, everyone was a bit, this is a thing. It's for the nerds. We need this, right? Okay, this is critical to business now, and now it's integral to everything we do as part of our daily lives. Do you think that's where, and you know, I open the floor up to both of you, where AI, generative AI, and in the future, more expansive AI is going to lead?
Go on, you can go first.
Okay.
Here.
Well, I think if we just step back a little bit and think about what happened during the pandemic, what really tested businesses across the world was whether they had enough resilience to continue. So you had issues with business continuity, staff being able to work from home, and so on and so on. And what you realised was a lot of the large organisations they invested early. They had a strategy which they then implemented, and it worked. Some companies with over 500,000 employees around the world were able to switch them on the next day because they have the right assets at home and so on. And I think the world's largest organisations have looked at what's happened during the pandemic and thought, okay, we were good here. And the other organisations which fell through realised that they should have had that continuity in place, are looking at AI now and saying, okay, we need someone to come in, we need a strategist, we need a company to come in, we need a consultant, whoever it may be, to tell us how this is going to benefit our business. So I actually do think, well, certainly being in the corporate world, what you do already see is that organisations are already way ahead. They're already using so much automation, but moreover, they're not looking at how ChatGPT and things like that is going to take away their staff. What they're saying is, okay, how can this technology complement our business? How can it grow our business? How can we add more value to the end user? And then the bottom line, obviously, is how can we make more money? Yeah. So I think companies that have the right leaders or the right teams or the right business plan or the right ethos to use AI are already on this. The question really is other organisations, so smaller organisations looking at larger companies who have the budget to see how they do it, wait a little bit and then go in because they haven't got the resources to match that organisation to fail first time round. I don't know what you think.
I think that's a good point. And I mean, you talk about consultants and strategists coming in, and obviously if you're looking at a PLC or a larger organisation with lots of employees who have that budget, they can do that stuff. A smaller one-person band, okay, or a small business with 3 or 4 employees usually thinks, well, this doesn't affect me. Okay, I'll look at it later. And I think they couldn't be further from the truth. But I've always been anti-big business in terms of what small business does. So let me give you an example. A small business owner looks at a large multinational company, okay, and says, let me look at what they're doing with their marketing. and I'll try and do the same. Well, you're looking at, let's say, Pepsi or Coca-Cola, and you're selling drinks. Well, they're spending 100 million with a footballer, for example, okay, saying, here you go, put a bottle of Coke every time you do an interview, okay, or they've got billboards everywhere, and they do loads of other stuff as well. Okay? That small entity, even if you try to do something similar on a much smaller level, okay, it's not going to work for them. Because what they've got to do is say, for every single penny that I spend, I've got to make sure I get some kind of a return. So I think with smaller companies, Akil, if they mimic what the big companies do, I think they're going to fail. What they've got to do is think about, okay, what's available out there? What do we think the impact is going to be? And how do we want our business to look like at some point in the future? Okay, based on whatever their vision is. And then see how AI can fix that or improve that, enhance it. And if not, what I always tell people is, make a start.
Absolutely.
Because they don't know what they don't know, and they think, well, I don't know what AI is going to do for me. Okay, so look what's available right now and see how you can either add to what you're missing right now, or some of the stuff that you're doing right now, which you can do quicker, better, more efficiently, more effectively, and then take it from there.
Yeah, and a good example of what Shaz just says, actually, I was listening to a chap last week, I think it was, one-man band marketing company, believe it or not. And he was saying that what AI has done for him is allowed him to serve multiple clients all at the same time, do all of their work 12 months ahead of schedule.
In a fraction of the time.
And he's competing with much larger organizations. He's still a one-man band. And he's able to do that, have multiple engagements all at the same time by using AI and enabling it. But then you have to know your own business, I guess. I think there's this misconception because you still need to invest in the technology.
Yes.
The free versions of AI are
You
great.
you get what you pay for, though.
Exactly. The next step, are you willing to spend that $20 a month? Are you willing to spend that? And it goes back to what Shaz just said, which I think is a very poignant. If you are a small business, if someone says to you, okay, it's going to cost you $1,000 for a year to have this one license, what am I going to get back for that $1,000? But if that gives you back 20 hours a week, it gives you time, face-to-face time with a client while you're automating everything else, I think it kind of pays for itself, really. But I think the issue we have, just getting back to what you were saying earlier, Kieran, is that this is one of those moments, I do feel, I'm like you, where you have, you are genuinely going to be left behind if you are not part of this at some stage. Although we are using AI all the time. It's been part of our lives for such a long time. It's just no one was saying it out loud. You just didn't know, but it's been in your pocket for a long time.
Yeah.
Which is the point we made earlier.
Yeah. On all of these, your Siri, your Alexa, your smart devices. And that's kind of the thing. The smart devices have a very narrow, very focused service that they offer, whereas the large language learning models like ChatGPT, like DALL-E, all the rest of them they are not any broader in their native ability, but they have a different access level. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I think when it comes to what people can use AI for in their business, we've spoken about this at length, systemizations, processes, stuff like that. If you can, you can use, if you know exactly what your process is, but you're not entirely sure how to translate that, you can go to one of these learning models and go, okay, for the purposes of my business, this is my business, this is what we do, this is what we offer. Teach someone this process, lay it out for the AI learning model, teach someone this from the beginning, and it will give you a document of learning.
Yes.
And how much time is that going to save you in your business?
Absolutely.
A lot.
Yeah. And Shaz, I was actually thinking as I was driving in to ask you, so obviously someone who's been in the city, you've got vast business experience. I have been listening, reading and watching quite a lot of people in the city now talking about how AI is going to be used extensively across the stock markets and so on. I mean, they were already using elements of it already, but now in the city especially, they're going to be using it for a lot more of the services that they provide, or actually how they work with each other. Do you find that from your previous experience that this is going to be something that's going to benefit them, or do you think this is just something to do?
No, I think it's definitely going to benefit them. because we were talking about this earlier. What AI does is it gives you speed and to some extent accuracy, which is obviously improving, and it gives you a higher level of outcome. And the entire stock market is controlled by one thing and one thing only, which is information. So I think the AI is going to give them access to more information quicker, and then give them the ability to analyze that information even quicker.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, I think-
And that's what's key. And with that, which is important for our listeners, is that if anybody is looking to invest and looking to become wealthy, what AI does for them right now is it gives them some of that research, okay, very, very quickly.
Yeah.
So if somebody wants to invest in the stock market, or wants to open up an accountancy business or a dentistry business or some of the business, well, they can go on ChatGPT or any other platforms Kieran talked about, and many others, and start learning about how that particular business works. Now, of course, you can't open up a dentist practice per se unless you're a dentist. And nothing stops you, but you've got to find qualified dentists, or it's the same applies to some extent to accountancy. But I just use those to an example. It could be a restaurant, for example. Okay.
Yeah.
But so it gives you people access to a lot of information. Where I think what differentiates the super successful or the successful from the not so successful is the successful ones look at history and look at the history of the particular business that they're going into. How did it come to being? How did it come to creation? How did it evolve? What were the challenges? And a lot of people go into a business, Akil, okay, let's just say accountants, because I'm an accountant.
Are you? I didn't know that. Did you?
And
No idea.
I hide it well. It's a big secret, like a bit like ChatGPT. But they don't know where accountancy started from and how it's evolved over time. Okay, and I think that's incredibly important. And people talk about being successful and wealthy, and say, okay, who was the first known billionaire? Don't know. Okay, what did the earlier or the pioneers do in terms of the businesses they started, and how did they scale them up? Well, I don't know. How did it evolve that people started selling information? I don't know. All of this stuff is incredibly important because history repeats itself, but people don't really go into the fundamentals deep enough to fully understand, okay, what helps us make, create, sustain, okay, wealth.
And surely that is what Shaz has beautifully summarised. That is that's someone who's trying to get rich versus someone who's trying to be wealthy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's one of those things that current generation AI is limited by its access to the internet. A lot of the large language learning models don't have native access to the internet. They only have limited knowledge bases that is backed up to 2021. So asking for like stock investments, stuff like that, it's 2 years out of date already. But what it is very good at is pattern recognition. And so it can tell you, once you've fed it enough data, and this is kind of the two big things that I want people to take away from this, if they take nothing else away, is the power of any of the AIs that are available today come in there are two things that are massively relevant. One is the data it has access to. If it has access to bad data, it's going to give you a bad answer.
Yeah.
If you don't have good data, then you're scuppered from the start. And the second one is the input you give it, the question you ask. If you ask, for argument's sake, what is a piece of paper? Well, a piece of paper is an item that you buy from a shop. Well, I should have been more specific in my question. It's not wrong, but the data it has given me back is directly proportional to the ineloquence that I used to generate the question.
Yeah.
Faisal on Facebook. We've used Visual Studio AI, which helps our software developers suggest common functions and suggests better memory and better code to avoid bugs. Most of the AI tools are great for simple programs that may interface with APIs, etc. But when trying to do more complex thread management and stuff that's not well documented online, it's not very good. Yeah, and that goes back to exactly what I was just saying. The access to data that it has is not as good, so it gives a worse result when answering your question.
Yes, and I am of the opinion that the companies who are currently working on this software actually do have access to a lot of data. What we're privy to is completely different because we're a consumer, we're in retail, right? But if, for example, let's just say we've got Shaz Enterprises, it's been going for 50 years. He's got all this data, almost 40 years of it, and he feeds that data to a platform. That platform will be so efficient and provide immense value to his organization that if he just had the 2 years you mentioned. So I do believe data that we are currently using is what they're allowing us to use.
Yes.
Because they can more or less get away with it.
It's gatekeeping the information, but also I think getting people used to this sort of interface. And because as you know, history has shown us, if you drop a big change on people, people are very resistant to change in general. People are scared.
Yeah.
People scare real easy.
Yeah.
And if you go, okay, cool. Here's a large language learning model that can do, you know, API integration, AI generation, avatar generation, voice synthesization, virtual studios, motion capture walk around. It can generate someone entirely that it is you in a digital format, and then it can generate a script for you. It can do videos for you. It can
in your voice.
Whoa.
Yeah.
This
Too
is
much.
terrifying.
That's
It's too
correct.
much.
Yeah.
Whereas doing it the way they've done, which is, you know, this large language learning model, it's on old data. Don't be afraid. It's not up to date. You know, just be aware. It's drip feeding it in and getting people used to it, as opposed to just dropping everything in all at once. I think the capability is there, and in fact, I know the capability is there to give large language learning models access to the internet. I've used it. I know it's there, but it's not general purpose. It's not generalized. Yeah, I mean, because I used it to summarize our website for me to see where there were breaks in code and stuff like that. I had no problem doing that, but I had to go out of my way to give it that access.
Yeah.
And I've got to be very careful when I use that access, because that part of the reason that access was taken away to the general user is because the AI was finding ways around paywalls. Mm-hmm. It was giving you information from the internet because it's online that was hidden behind paywalls. And a lot of that information is generally hidden behind paywalls for good reason. Yeah. Because it's valuable.
You got to pay for it.
Absolutely.
Because you've got to pay for it.
Yeah.
And it's so that's part of the reason why they went, we can do that. Okay, let's not give the general user that. That's open to abuse. And so we are drip feeding people, getting them used to the idea of virtual assistants, AI integration, being able to do things for you, being able to systemize your processes, being able to add to your process, to streamline them, to give you the learning. But something we were discussing earlier about giving all the right information is what it can do, and what it is very, very good at is analyzing that data into a format that you can then go, I can act on that.
Yeah.
Because I already know my industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can give Shaz something generated by AI potentially on accountancy. He's an accountant. He knows his industry very, very well. He's very good at what he does. He can look at that and go, that's right, that's right, that's right. That, no. Okay, so we can now teach it what we want and what information we want. And I think that is going to be very, very powerful in generating wealth for people utilizing AI as a tool. And I think that's the thing. It's a tool. It's not a replacement. Correct.
Yes, and I think that's been the issue. I think because there is such a pushback in society, we've started, all these different news programs and and chat online and things like that. It's been this, there's a threat to your job. Because you do this job, that's going to be easily replaced. But I think if the companies themselves, society needs to just accept some elements of this. But companies, organisations, governments, and so on should be embracing the positives of it to help. But unfortunately, we live in the real world. As soon as you have a tool like this out there and you are doing a job, someone says to you can get replaced, you go on Google and you type in, can my job as a data entry person get replaced by AI, and someone's written an article saying, yep, you're all finished. you're naturally going to be against it because you're thinking about how am I going to get
That's
paid.
always happened because it's that fight or flight and the fear thing, isn't it, Akil? And it's happened even when the Industrial Revolution started, and prior to that. Every decade, 15, 20 years, something comes along which is a threat to many people's jobs.
Well, I mean,
does that make sense? But then,
how
look
many
at
farrers do you know?
Yeah, and
They used to be a big industry.
yeah,
Horseshoeing,
yeah,
farrers.
that's right. But with that, creates plenty of opportunity, and people just don't look at that opportunity. And most people, when they defend something, okay, generally speaking, they're defending it because they feel insecure that it's going to affect them in some shape, way, form, or manner.
Absolutely.
They won't admit that.
No.
Oh no, I'm not doing it because of this. I'm doing it because of that. Because they don't want to show their insecurity. But it is, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So I think that argument's always going to exist.
Yeah.
But people, and you're right. People should embrace the opportunity because there's more upside than there is downside.
I agree. I think another area where people are afraid, and I mean, I'm a student. I've got a 3D printer. I can stick a pen in my 3D printer. I can get a large language learning model to write my dissertation, and I can print it out on a 3D printer. So it's still handwritten, technically, but I've not done a single piece of work. And people are afraid of that, and they're using there are now tools out there that you can use to see if it's likely to have been written by AI.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
Stuff. And I think those are incredibly important, and we need to keep tabs on those. But I also think that the whole question about should I be able to use AI to generate my homework, for example, it's going to change the way people are educated, because at the moment we put more emphasis on people's grades than students do on learning. And as we all know, children don't particularly necessarily want to go to school. Most children, their ideal day is not spent at school.
This is true.
Let's be honest. So we as adults are placing more emphasis on their grade than we are on their learning. And I think AI will change that, because I can print off a grade A paper. That's easy. That doesn't take any work.
That's a bit mean just before the results are going to come out, Kieran.
Yeah.
Do you know, I can't help but
it's true, though.
think that while we're all sat here, that, if we were to just look at the dark side of AI for a second, I know time is limited, but quickly, there's going to be a lot of organised crime is going to be looking to use AI in an area of, for millennia, people have been committing crime to gain wealth. There will be organisations out there looking to manipulate data of some description.
Yep.
To gain wealth.
And I think that's part of the reason why currently AI is a mostly unregulated entity, virtually entirely.
Yes.
And AI is going to be one of the first things I see in this world that has to be globally maintained and globally authenticated, globally policed.
Can't see it happening, Kieran.
No, I can't. I can't
No.
see I can't see every country coming to a consensus, and I think that is where the grey area is going to fall in.
Wow.
Is we agree globally on certain policies, on certain rules, on certain laws around the world. There's anti-war laws, stuff like that. The world has agreed you shouldn't do that. That's a bad thing. And I think AI is going to fall into a category where it needs global consensus, because just about anywhere on the planet I can go and get internet access.
Yep.
Yes, but let me just to add to the fact that this doesn't, we're not going to get global consensus, is if you look at Five Eyes and that security apparatus that they've got to do with the internet and monitoring security threats and so on, there's not enough countries that have signed up to it. I can't imagine that happening for AI.
It's not going to happen
No,
because
it's not.
There's too many different opinions.
And there's also too much money that can go into it. Hi, Treja. Welcome back. Yes, I do remember you from last week. Hope you're enjoying the show. It's a shame you've got to leave early. And Faisal, more widespread AI will definitely cause job losses for many sectors, including legal, healthcare, and any kind of job which doesn't require a lot of new ideas or thinking. But there will be new jobs created that don't currently exist.
Yeah, spot on.
Yeah, spot on. Absolutely true. I think, yes, if you can potentially boil a position down into a very simplistic, doesn't require any imagination, doesn't require much thought, then yes, You are going to look at, and in some cases, when you look online, look at chatbots.
Mm-hmm.
Chatbots are AI, whether you like it or not, and they generate revenue, they add to a company, they give you answers based on the company's website, and that in and of itself is a fantastic opportunity that people can use.
And then when it works well, it works really well, because I've tried a few different ones. Some are hit and miss, but some are really good.
But if you invest the money, you get a return on your investment.
So what you're both saying then tonight, then AI is
fantastic.
It's a fantastic tool.
Yeah.
If you want to become wealthy,
Yeah.
anyone can start any one time, and you can use this to benefit your
And
organisation.
embrace it.
But it is just that.
Well,
It's
I want to
tool.
be a billionaire Zimbabwean dollar guy.
You already are. You just don't know it.
I'm going to use AI to do it.
I look forward to seeing what you do with it in the future.
Thank you.
But yeah, that's been Wealth Made Simple. It's been a fantastic show. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on, Akil.
Thank you, Keith,
guys.
for coming down.
Thank you.
And thank you very much. And until next time, same time, same place next week. Salam alaikum.
Stay tuned to Salam Radio after this short ad break.
Are you looking for a career where you can make a difference? At Cross Keys Homes, we work with our local communities to create opportunities that change lives. We're looking for enthusiastic, talented people to join our team, from apprenticeships to senior management positions. Cross Keys Homes can support your development while you enjoy great employee benefits. There are so many opportunities for you to shine. Apply to join the Cross Keys Homes team at crosskeyshomes.co.uk.
Are you a savvy shopper searching for the best food deals? Look no further. Adams Cash and Carry can help you save big. We're not just a food wholesaler for takeaways and restaurants. We also welcome household customers at our warehouse in Westwood, Peterborough. Visit our website and enjoy wholesale prices on everything from drinks to flour, rice to burgers, and much more. To shop, go online and collect in store. Visit adamscashandcarry.co.uk today to start your savings spree.
2020 World Buffet is inspired by the best foods from around the world. See our teppanyaki chefs grill your food to order, or choose delicious Indian, Italian, Chinese, Mexican dishes and British favourites, all halal. 2020 World Buffet offers you unlimited food at a set price. Open 7 days for lunch and dinner. Catering, wedding and party services available too. Call 01733 566 320 or visit 2020buffet.co.uk. 2020 World Buffet, 35 New Road, Peterborough, PE1 1FJ.
Where can you get high quality and low prices? Amar Food Store and Halal Meat in Lincoln Road, Triangle is the place to go. Pay us a visit and take advantage of our special offers and great range of products on groceries, vegetables, fruits and halal meat. Also send money to Pakistan absolutely free. We have all top brands at special offers, offer free customer parking and provide a free local delivery service. Amar Food Store and Halal Meat, 613B Lincoln Road, Peterborough. Call us on 01733 687 374. High in quality, low in prices.
Worried your tenants could stop paying their rent during this cost of living crisis? Next Move Estate and Letting Agents are offering landlords 12 months rent in advance. You'll get your rent paid for the whole year in advance. No strings attached. Too good to be true? It really is that simple. So get in touch with us today for this extremely limited offer. Call Next Move now on 01733 641 642 to find out how we can help.
Craving authentic Desi flavors? Look no further than Desi Restaurant. From midday until 1 in the morning, enjoy our homemade specialties that will transport your taste buds. Indulge in tantalizing papri chaat and savor the rich Chersi Kadahi. Treat your friends to our fresh 1 kilogram Chersi lamb handi. Plus, get 2 12-inch pizzas for $11.95. Located at 298 Lincoln Road, we deliver from lunchtime until 1 a.m. Call 01733 555 795 now to order and experience Desi Restaurant's flavors.
a day, 365 days a year. This is Salam Radio.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على خاتم النبيين الصلاة والسلام عليك يا رسول الله وعلى آلك وصحابك يا حبيب الله الصلاة والسلام عليك يا رسول الله وعلى آلك وصحابك يا حبيب الله. آپ سن رہے ہیں سلام ریڈیو 106.2 FM. میں ہوں آپ کا میزبان رستم سلیمان، پروگرام نشید آور کے ساتھ. ہمارا یہ پروگرام اسلام ریڈیو کی وساطت سے 7 سے لے کر 8 بجے تک انشاءاللہ آپ کی خدمت میں پیش کیا جاتا ہے، اور یہ خالصتاً نعت کا پروگرام ہے، اور جس کا آپ کو عنوان سے ہی پتہ چل گیا ہوگا کہ یہ نعت حضور صلی اللہ علیہ وآلہ وسلم کی ثناخوانی ہوگی. اگر آپ نے نعت سننا ہے، نعت پڑھنا ہے یا نعت کی خواہش ہے تو ہمارا اسٹوڈیو نمبر ہے 01733602133 پہ آپ ہمیں کال کریں، اور انشاءاللہ تعالی آپ کی من پسند نعت ضرور لگائیں گے. اور اگر آپ ٹیکسٹ کرنا چاہتے ہیں اور پروگرام کے بارے میں کوئی بات کرنا چاہتے ہیں یا اسلام ریڈیو کے بارے میں کوئی بات کرنا چاہتے ہیں تو ہمارا ٹیکسٹ نمبر ہے 07411191062 پہ آپ ہمیں ٹیکسٹ کر سکتے ہیں اور اپنی آراء سے ہمیں آگاہ کر سکتے ہیں. آپ یہ پروگرام فیس بک، یوٹیوب، ٹویٹر اور ٹویچ پہ براہ راست ہمیں سن رہے ہیں اور دیکھ رہے ہیں. پروگرام کا آغاز اللہ کے پاک کلام سے، اس کے بعد نعت کا سلسلہ شروع ہوگا انشاءاللہ. اعوذ باللہ من الشیطان الرجیم بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم انا نحن نحیی الموت وَنَكْتُبُ مَا قَدَّمُوا وَآثَارُهُمْ وَكُلَّ شَيْءٍ أَحْصَيْنَاهُ فِي إِمَامٍ مُبِينٍ. صدق اللہ العظیم. الحمدللہ سورۃ یاسین کی آیت تلاوت کی ہے. انشاءاللہ تعالی اب نعت کی طرف بڑھتے ہیں، اور آج ہماری پہلی فرمائش ہے عاشق رسول. ماشاءاللہ ماشاءاللہ، بہت پیاری آواز عاشق رسول، اور اللہ تعالیٰ کی اس میں گرامی، اور بڑا ہی لطف آیا۔ امید ہے انشاءاللہ جنہوں نے بھی فرمائش کی ہے ان کو پسند آیا ہوگا۔ آپ سن رہے ہیں سلام ریڈیو 106.2 FM، میں ہوں آپ کا میزبان رستم سلیمان۔ پروگرام نشید آور کے ساتھ میرا اور آپ کا ساتھ 8 بجے تک رہے گا انشاءاللہ۔ آگے اس دوران آپ نے اگر نعت پڑھنی ہے یا نعت سننی ہے یا کوئی نعت کی فرمائش کرنی ہے تو ہمارا اسٹوڈیو نمبر ہے 01733602133 پہ آپ ہمیں کال کریں۔ اگر آپ ٹیکسٹ کرنا چاہتے ہیں ہمارا نمبر ہے 07411191062 پہ آپ ہمیں ٹیکسٹ کر سکتے ہیں۔ نمبر دوبارہ رپیٹ کر دیتا ہوں، 07411191062 پہ آپ ہمیں ٹیکسٹ کر سکتے ہیں اور اپنی فرمائش کا اظہار کر سکتے ہیں۔ اگلی نعت کی طرف بڑھتے ہیں اور یہ ہیں نادر خان ٹیک مائی ہینڈ۔
Take my hand, come with me. Take your time, but don't you see, oh, that your ways won't set you free. Oh, take my hand now and come with me. Take a look inside the door of my heart. You'll see for sure, oh, that my love for you is pure. Oh, take my hand now and come with me. I won't judge, won't put you down while you lie down on the ground. Oh, take your time, I'll hang around. Oh, take my hand now, take my hand and come with me. I don't know how I would fare if your trials I was to bear. Oh, but your burdens do let me share. Oh, take my hand now, take my hand and come with me. Na 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 Take this hate out of your heart. It's alright that we've grown apart. Let's give this thing a brand new start. Oh, take my hand now and come with me. Turn your anger and your glowing rage against yourself. Oh, break out of the cage. Oh, write your story on a brand new page. Oh, take my hand now and come with me. I won't shout, I'll stay composed. This is where you need me most. Oh, it's not too late, the door hasn't closed. Oh, take my hand now and come with me. If I stumble, as I walk with you, I'll take your hand. Oh, I'll come with you. I'll need your strength to pull me through. But now take my hand now and come with me. Take my hand, come with me. Take my hand, come with me. Take my hand, come with me. Take my hand. take my hand, come with me. Take my hand, come with me. Take my hand, come with me. Take my hand.
माशाल्लाह माशाल्लाह, ये थे नादर खान, टेक माय हैंड। बहुत प्यारी आवाज़, बहुत प्यारी नात और बहुत अच्छा अंदाज़। नात के सिलसिले में, ये नात का प्रोग्राम है, द नशीद आवर्स, ये नात का प्रोग्राम है। और इस प्रोग्राम के शुरू में जो बात मैंने कही थी, अगर आप नात पढ़ना चाहते हैं या नात सुनना चाहते हैं या नात के बारे में कोई बात करना चाहते हैं, तो हमारा स्टूडियो नंबर है 01733602133 पे आप हमें कॉल करें। अगर आप टेक्स्ट करना चाहते हैं, हमारा नंबर है 07411191062 पे आप हमें टेक्स्ट करें और इंशाल्लाह ताला आपसे बात भी होगी और आपकी आरा हमारे लिए बड़ी कीमती है। अगली नात की तरफ बढ़ते हैं। ये है माह ज़ैन और आशिक़ रसूल, आशिक़ रसूल हमने लाइन अप की हुई है। आशिक़ रसूल ये बड़ी मुनफरिद और बड़ी प्यारी, द ब्राइट फेस।
Your face is bright like the shining moon, lighting up darkness of the night. We are here to think of you, oh Muhammad Rasulullah. Your face is bright like the shining moon, lighting up darkness of the night. We are here to think of you, oh Muhammad Rasulullah. Coming of you makes the brightest day shining through along the way. Your
stay tuned to Salam Radio after this short ad break.
Could you spare a few hours each month to provide support to people who are going through tough times? If so, Peterborough Samaritans are looking for volunteers who are empathetic and open-minded, and we'd love to hear from you. We run regular information sessions where you can find out more about what it means to volunteer for Samaritans. If you are at least 18 years of age and would like to know more, please email volunteer@peterboroughsamaritans.org.
Attention foodies! Discover a world of flavours at Pack Foods, the largest ethnic supermarket in Peterborough. Shop our vast selection of authentic ingredients from around the globe, including spices, marinated fish and meats, and exotic fruits at incredibly low prices. And the best part? We offer free parking. No more hunting for a spot. Come visit us today and explore the incredible range of flavours at Pack Foods, 232 Lincoln Road.
At Cake Inn, all our cakes and slices are freshly baked for that delicious taste. At Cake Inn, we bake 100% vegetarian and halal eggless fresh cream cakes. Delicious flavoured cakes for birthdays and weddings, ceremonies and all other occasions, with free customised messages, even balloons and candles too. Order for delivery or collection from Cake Inn, 489 Lincoln Road, PE1 2PE, and your cake could be ready within 2 hours. Find out more and order online at cakein.co.uk or call 01733 496 584. Satisfy your cravings at Ibrahimi Buffet Restaurant. Enjoy a tantalising variety of Chinese, Italian, Pakistani and comfort food favourites, from starters to desserts. Kids under 5 dine for free, so bring the whole family to our restaurant at 63 Sycamore Avenue. Open every day from 5 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Call us on 01733 313131 or book online to reserve your table. Ibrahimi-restaurant.co.uk. Every bite is a delight at Ibrahimi Buffet Restaurant.
Fancy the true taste of Middle Eastern Kurdish food? Asia Restaurant gives you the unique fusion of flavours from Turkey, Iraq, Syria and Iran. Eat in at 5 Fitzwilliam Street, Peterborough, PE1 2RU. Or order through Just Eat, Uber Eats or order through our website, asiarestaurant.co.uk. Call us on 01733 562 530. Asia Restaurant, the true taste of the Middle East.
Craving authentic Desi flavors? Look no further than Desi Restaurant. From midday until 1 in the morning, enjoy our homemade specialties that will transport your taste buds. Indulge in tantalizing papri chaat and savor the rich chersi kadahi. Treat your friends to our fresh 1 kilogram chersi lamb handi. Plus, get 2 12-inch pizzas for $11.95. Located at 298 Lincoln Road, we deliver from lunchtime until 1 a.m. Call 01733 555 795 now to order and experience Desi Restaurant's flavors.
If you want to learn about Islam and Muslims, stay tuned to Salam Radio 106.2 FM.
अस्सलामु अलैकुम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू। वेलकम बैक, खुश आमदीद। नशीद आवर का प्रोग्राम जारी और सारी है और इंशाअल्लाह ताला आपकी फरमाइशें आ रही हैं और सारी फरमाइश हमने लाइन अप की हुई हैं। सिर्फ ऑनलाइन जो है फ़ोन जो है वो नहीं बज रहे, बाकी तो जो हमारे आपकी मैसेजेस पे आप लोगों ने फरमाइशें की हैं, अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह उस पर हम पूरा उतर रहे हैं। अगर आपने नात सुननी है या नात पढ़नी है या नात का आप शौक़ रखते हैं तो हमारा स्टूडियो नंबर है 01733602133 पे आप हमें कॉल करें। اور ہمارا ٹیکسٹ نمبر ہے 07411191062 پہ آپ ہمیں ٹیکسٹ کر سکتے ہیں. ہمارا یہ پروگرام 7 سے لے کر 8 بجے تک ہر سوموار کو انشاءاللہ اسلام ریڈیو کی وساطت سے آپ تک پہنچایا جاتا ہے. ہمارا یہ پروگرام فیس بک، یوٹیوب، ٹویٹر اور ٹویچ پہ براہ راست آپ ہمیں سن رہے ہیں اور دیکھ رہے ہیں. اگلی نعت کی طرف بڑھتے ہیں اور یہ نعت ہے میلاد رضا قادری.
یا نبی نظر کرم فرمانا، یا نبی نظر کرم فرمانا، اے حسنین کے نانا، اے حسنین کے نانا، اے حسنین کے نانا، اے حسنین کے نانا. زہرا پاک کے صدقے ہم کو طیبہ میں بلوانا، اے حسنین کے نانا، اے حسنین کے نانا، اے حسنین کے نانا، اے حسنین کے نانا. آپ کے در کا ہوں میں بھکاری، آپ ہیں میرے داتا، سارے رشتے ناتوں سے ہے پیارا اپنا ناتا. آپ کے در کا ہوں میں بھکاری، آپ ہیں میرے داتا، سارے رشتے ناتوں سے ہے پیارا اپنا ناتا. آپ تو ہیں آپ تو ہیں آتا ہے جن کو سب کی لاج نبھانا، اے حسنین کے نانا، اے حسنین کے نانا، اے حسنین کے نانا، اے حسنین کے نانا. سایہ ہے لیکن دو جگ پر ہے آپ کا سایہ، عرش معلا بنا محلہ دید کو رب نے بلایا. بے سایہ ہے لیکن دو جگ پر ہے آپ کا سایہ، عرش معلا بنا محلہ دید کو رب نے بلایا. حشر تلک نہ حشر تلک نہ ہوگا کسی کا ایسا آنا جانا، اے حسنین کے نانا، اے حسنین کے نانا، اے حسنین کے نانا، اے حسنین کے نانا. سج گئی ہے میلاد کی محفل، کیا ہے خوب نظارہ، کیف و مستی میں ڈوبا ہے دیکھو عالم سارا. سج گئی ہے میلاد کی محفل، کیا ہے خوب نظارہ، کیف و مستی میں ڈوبا ہے دیکھو عالم سارا. ڈھونڈ رہی ہے ڈھونڈ رہی ہے مت بخشش کا بہانہ اے حسنین کے نانا اے حسنین کے نانا اے حسنین کے نانا اے حسنین کے نانا نسبت کا فیضان ہے دیکھو خادم غوث جلی ہوں کرتا ہے مجھ پہ ناز زمانہ میں اوصاف علی ہوں نسبت کا فیضان ہے دیکھو خادم غوث جلی ہوں کرتا ہے مجھ پہ ناز زمانہ میں اوصاف علی ہوں آپ کی آل کے آپ کی آل کے در کا سگ ہوں سائل ہوں پرانا اے حسنین کے نانا اے حسنین کے نانا اے حسنین کے نانا اے حسنین کے نانا زہرا پاک کے صدقے ہم کو طیبہ میں بلوانا اے حسنین کے نانا اے حسنین کے نانا اے حسنین کے نانا اے حسنین کے نانا
ماشاءاللہ ماشاءاللہ یہ تھے میلاد رضا قادری اے حسنین کے نانا ماشاءاللہ ماشاءاللہ اور اب چونکہ ٹائم نزدیک آتا جا رہا ہے اور کیونکہ فرمائشیں بھی بہت ہیں اور یہ کے بعد دیگرے آہستہ آہستہ میں یہ کے بعد دیگرے نعت کا سلسلہ لگاؤں گا اگلی نعت کی طرف بڑھتے ہیں انشاءاللہ اور یہ ہے ماہ زین اللہ یا مولا
تسمعنا وترانا الله الله إنا نرجوك الغفران أصلحنا ويانا واغفر خطايانا الله الله واجعل في الجنة مثوانا الله ربي أسعدنا مولانا بدنيانا وأخرانا الله يا يا الواحد ربي الله يا مولانا الله الله يا الله مولانا الله يا مولانا حالي ما يخفاك يا الواحد ربي حالي ما يخفاك يا الواحد ربي الله يا مولانا الله الله يا الله مولانا الله يا مولانا حالي ما يخفاك يا الواحد ربي سكينة الله يا مولانا الله الله يا الله مولانا الله يا مولانا حالي ما يخفاك يا الواحد ربي الله يا مولانا الله الله يا الله مولانا الله يا مولانا حالي ما يخفاك يا الواحد ربي الله يا مولانا الله الله يا الله مولانا الله يا مولانا حالي ما يخفاك يا الواحد ربي
अल्लाह या मौलाना माहि ज़ैन बहुत प्यारी आवाज़ आप सुन रहे हैं सलाम रेडियो 106.2 FM में हूं आपका मेज़बान रुस्तम सुलेमान प्रोग्राम नशीद आवर के साथ हमारा ये प्रोग्राम हर सोमवार को 7 से लेकर 8 बजे तक आपकी खिदमत में पेश किया जाता है। इस प्रोग्राम में उर्दू इंग्लिश और अरबिक नातें हम पेश करते हैं और आपकी फरमाइश होती है और इसमें लाइव नातें भी होती हैं। अगर आपने नात पढ़नी है या नात सुननी है तो हमारा स्टूडियो नंबर है 01733602133 पे आप हमें कॉल करें और अगर आप टेक्स्ट करना चाहते हैं हमारा नंबर है 07411191062 पे आप हमें टेक्स्ट कर सकते हैं। अगली नात की तरफ बढ़ते हैं। ये नात है खालिक सद्दीक रेडी और नॉट।
Ready or not, death will come, you can't hide. The angels will find you and take you slowly. Ready or not, death will come, you can't hide. The angels will find you and take you slowly.
Now that I'm awake, I feel I must relate. Light to all the people, cause the sky looks great. Although the mind does sway, I know that mine won't stray. Because the power up above will lead the righteous straight. Wallahi. Devil's breath getting closer. As I search for piety, discovering a higher me. Devil keeps on trying me. Your outlook on society determines what you try and be. A'udhu billah. Lord protect me. Keep a couple akis close, cause they will correct me. Keep me straight up on the path so I walk correctly. Prophet taught me when I taught that I should talk directly and try and purify my heart before he resurrects me.
Ready or not, death will come, you can't hide. The angels will find you and take you slowly. Ready or not, death will come, you can't hide. The angels will find you and take you slowly.
Ready or not, when you're timed on it on. There's no reset button, you can push when it comes. There's no money that can save you. Path that you can run, yeah, but in the grace of God or in the fire, you got born. Listen, preacher, I ain't trying to be a teacher. The devil's got a hold of you and I'm just trying to reach ya. I'm trying to save your soul from its eternal abode. I'm your spiritual guide, come to see ya, pleased to meet ya.
You can't run away from predestination, Habibi, Habibi. Yes, it's written all for you. Anywhere you go, the angels will find you, Habibi, Habibi. You can't hide from the light, oh yeah.
It's kinda hard, I know, to realize the truth is so dim though it may seem, but in reality it's so beautiful in ways that only relate with your soul. Spiritual awakening is what I've come to know.
Ready or not, death will come, you can't hide. The angels will find you
ماشاءاللہ خالق صدیق اور ان کا ایک منفرد انداز ہے. اگلی نعت کی طرف پڑھتے ہیں اور یہ نعت ہے نادر خان مرحبا.
يا صاحب الجمال ويا سيد البشر من وجهك المنير لقد نور القمر لا يمكن الثناء كما كان حقه بعد از خدا بزرگ و تویی قصه مختصر مرحبا سيدي مكي مدني العربي مرحبا سيدي مكي مدني العربي دل و جان باد هدایت چه عجب خوش لقبی دل و جان باد هدایت چه عجب خوش لقبی مرحبا سيدي مكي مدني العربي مرحبا سيدي مكي مدني العربي سے سوالی نہ گیا خالی ہاتھ آیا مگر لوٹ کے خالی نہ گیا ہو کے مایوس تیرے در سے سوالی نہ گیا خالی ہاتھ آیا مگر لوٹ کے خالی نہ گیا ہے تو ہی افضل الانسان تو محبوب خدا ہے تو ہی افضل الانسان تو محبوب خدا ہو قریشی بنی ہاشمی و مطلبی سیدی انت حبیبی و طبیب قلبی مرحبا سیدی مکی مدنی مرحبا سیدی مکی مدنی العربی ثنا خوان نبی اے قمر یہ میری کوشش کسی قابل تو نہیں ہو کب بتا ہوگا مجھے ذوق ثنا خوان نبی اے قمر یہ میری کوشش کسی قابل تو نہیں میری خاطر تو یہ نسبت بھی بہت ہے مولا میری خاطر تو یہ نسبت بھی بہت ہے مولا 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 رے میری خاطر تو یہ نسبت بھی بہت ہے مولا ہم میں کہاں ورنہ کہاں ذکر خدا نعت نبی ہو دل و جان باد ہدایت سے عجب خوش لقبی مرحبا سیدی مکی مدنی مرحبا سيدي مكي مدني مرحبا سيدي مكي مدني العربي مرحبا سيدي مكي مدني العربي
ماشاءاللہ یہ تھے नादर खान और इंशाअल्लाह अब 3-4 मिनट बाकी हैं और अल्लाह ताला आप सबका भला करे जिन्होंने हमारा प्रोग्राम सुना और इंशाअल्लाह ताला जिन्होंने हमारी फरमाइश की और इंशाअल्लाह ताला अगले हफ्ते इसी जगह दोबारा आपसे हम मुलाकात करेंगे और अपना ख्याल रखें, इर्द गिर्द का ख्याल रखें। माह ज़ैन की नात के बाद हमारा आज का प्रोग्राम ख़त्म हुआ चाहता है। इंशाअल्लाह ताला अगले सोमवार को अल्लाह ताला ने ज़िंदगी दी तो फिर दोबारा हाज़िर होंगे इंशाअल्लाह। पूरी कोशिश होगी कि कोई ना कोई गेस्ट हमारे साथ हो और लाइव प्रोग्राम हमारा देखते रहें और सुनते रहें। और जिन्होंने भी फरमाइश का इजहार किया उनका बहुत शुक्रिया। अगली नात अपना ख्याल रखें। अस्सलामु अलैकुम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू। अगली नात माह ज़ैन क्लोज टू यू।
Sitting here on this mountain, I'm thinking about your creation. It's so beautiful out here, a symphony of nature. Oh, it's taking my breath away. I'm so blessed out here today. Yeah, Allah, 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 Allah. I see the sun, the stars, the moon. I join them all in praising you. Allah, 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 Allah. I feel alive and I feel so good. I feel so close to you. Looking out at the ocean that makes us blue to the universe. Hey, wish I could see the world from space. Yeah, Subhanallah, the Creator. And it's taking my breath away. Hey, I'm so thankful I can say, just say Allah, 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 Allah. I see the sun, the stars, the moon. I join them all in praising you. Allah, 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 Allah. I feel alive and I feel so good. I feel so close to you. And everywhere I look around me, your creation's so wonderful. And the more that I think about it, makes me love you even more. How the river finds the way to the valley, it's just so magical. And the way the night turns into day, it's a miracle. Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. Oh, 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 oh, Allah, 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 Allah. I see the sun, the stars, the moon. I join them all in praising you. Allah, 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 Allah. I feel alive and I feel so good. I feel so close to you.
माशाल्लाह माशाल्लाह ये थे माह
Stay tuned to Salam Radio after this short ad break.
Craving authentic